So, you guys have 7 minutes to learn how to be a dungeon master. This either means you have an interview with Dimension 20 about DMing their next campaign, or you found yourself locked in a Saw-like bathroom with 4 adults, a battle map, and some tokens, which were all thrown in there by a little creepy doll on a cart who just said, "Would you like to play a game?" We're gonna do that one. Regardless, all you lovely people will learn the essentials to DM your next campaign. Or we're gonna totally biff it. And those people are gonna see your jawbone, all the meaty bits on the outside. Hey there everybody, this is AJ and welcome to First Time DM. And for everybody else who's not in a life, death, or hepatitis A, B, and C situation, we're gonna just be boiling down and summarizing hundreds of hours of video content, or saving you hundreds of dollars on books, and saving you tons of hours of reading all these words, which sounds just about as interesting as playing Naked Twister on sandpaper with your grandparents. First, let's come up with an adventure. An adventure is something that those 4 players are going to be able to go on and solve a goal. Now, this usually should be a pre-written module, but if you're in that Saw bathroom and you find yourself locked to a toilet, let's say you can't get your hands on one, you're going to have to come up with one. Now, this could either be you crossing open oceans to try to remove a curse from a witch who has you thinking of existential dread all the time. Or, let's say this group of people ended up with parasites in their brains, turning them into something crazy. Or, let's say you're stuck in a place with tons of sand and there's spices all around and Timothy Chalamet. You could use Dune. I don't know what Dune is. But feel free to take from different media, video games, movies, and always put your own twist on it. Because let's be honest, if your friends hear your NPCs start saying knuff all the time, they might understand that you just copied the Barbie movie. So speaking of 4 friends, let's give these guys some characters. So for their characters, they're going to need to pick backgrounds, classes, as well as race, species. They changed that to species. After they pick all those, and you end up with 2 Lord of the Ring ripoffs, a goblin named Frank, and probably the coolest character that you will ever meet, who will probably die in the first session, let's talk about giving them some ability scores. So for ability scores, you have 3 basic options. First, you can always do the standard array, which is picking 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8, and assigning those on different ability scores. Or you can do the point buy method, which is where you take those same 5 numbers and you switch them around, add a little bit more and less to different areas. Or for the final one, you can always roll for your stats, doing 4d6, drop the lowest. And this is for my nerds who love some gambling, some risk it for the biscuit out there. Now, when choosing your ability scores, make sure you assign the most important ones to the ones that relate to your character. A buffed up, yoked out wizard sounds cool on paper, but it won't make the fireballs do any more damage. Next, let's talk about ability checks. For ability checks, if your characters want to walk up some stairs or open a door, super mundane stuff, you don't really need to do ability checks. But I always say for anything that would be difficult for an 8-year-old, like forging a permission slip to go to a roller coaster park on a field trip that their parents don't know about, wish you luck, kid, then they would absolutely need to make an ability check. Now, ability checks range in difficulty based on their difficulty class, which usually DMs come up with. It's either going to be very easy, easy, moderate, hard, very hard, or impossible. Now, your difficulty class should correlate to your character's level. This means if you have a level 1 party, just, trying to throw a ball would be either very easy or maybe even not even need a check. The difficulty class for romancing a king to give up the kingdom shouldn't ever be a 15 or a 20. It should probably be a 30 or a 35, or not even possible. Now, the exception to this is a critical success when they roll a natural 20. Yeah, maybe give them a little bit better of an option. Or with a critical fail, they just don't do that well. If you ever need advice on this one, go check out Dungeon Dudes. They made a great video all about this. But let's get to the next point so you don't lose any of that dentist work or need to pay for more. Finally, let's start talking about combat. Once people start throwing punches or the monster gets to drop in on your group, you're going to have to roll initiative. Initiative sets the order of play for where your monsters come in and your players come in to make sure everything's a little bit more fair. Rolling initiative always allows people to know when they go next and when they have to put down their phone and actually pay attention to the game. For a monster stat block, you don't have a lot of time. Let's just use a bandit. For the bandit stat block, you'll see its AC, hit points, and its actions that it can take on its turn. When a player character wants to attack it, use its AC. When a player character hits with the attack higher than the AC, then take down the hit points. Well, that's really all there is to it. Now, combat will go over a few rounds until one side is either all unconscious or dead, one side runs away, or one side tries to take a hostage for like the 17th time. Yeah, guys, it worked out so great the last 16 times. Now, that's all there is to it. You got your adventure, your characters, your ability checks, your combat. That's really all there is. And hopefully I distilled all this information fast enough that you can get let out of that creepy bathroom. I just want to say, I really love you guys. Love being able to talk about this D&D content, be able to teach you guys a little bit, and be able to make your days that much easier. I hope your next sessions go phenomenal. You end up at the big city, negotiating with the bad guy, saving the good guy, and doing all that other wonderful stuff. Thanks again. This has been AJ with First Time DM. Cheers.